Well, all right. What up, dudes? Hey, Dina. Hey, everybody. Oh, you burned your hands on popcorn? That's perfect for the show. April Fools, we got you. We paid off Orville Redenbacher to burn your hand.
It burns, and the salt is making it so much worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, happy April Fools. You were tuned into the Drive-In Speakerbox. The best in, well, we can't say film scores anymore because we don't do that anymore. We're not on the radio. But we are going to review movies. We're going to talk about movies. We're going to give you news. We're going to talk about what's coming out. We're going to do all the fun things. And April Fools, man. Like, you know, this is...
We're going to do all the fun things. April Fools!
Like, I don't know if I enjoy this holiday. Everybody's like, Boom Operator, you're such a funny guy. You just probably love pranking people. And I don't. It's the one day of the year. I think I saw somebody post something like this on the internet today. They're like, it's the one day of the year where pretty much everybody online takes a minute to wonder if what they're reading online is true or not. When it should be every day, because almost every day is April Fool's, it seems like, on the internet. And the world of Hollywood news is no different. There's always tons of rumors and speculation and shit that just isn't real.
Well, or things that are real at the time, and then by the time they reach their end point of being made into a movie, are true no longer.
Mm-hmm. True no longer. Are you sophisticated Pooh Bear now?
I guess. I don't know.
Which is the new.
Well, I was watching the thing about the new Hellboy movie earlier, and I remembered the whole deal of how they cast that guy from the first Deadpool movie as the Japanese American, and everyone threw a big fit online about it. And so he stepped off, and then now they have a Korean American, and everyone's like, "Oh, close enough."
God.
You remember?
I do remember that because that's how uneducated most people are about these sort of things. It's just enough. What's up, Tony? How's it going, man? It's just enough lip service to where people go, well, I guess I haven't done enough research, so it's just going to placate me for the time being. But anyway, so we got a lot of show tonight. We're going to be talking about some movies. I think we both went and saw independently from one another Beach Bum. Did you go see Beach Bum?
Yeah, dude. I watched The Tale of Moondog.
Yeah, dude. And we're not talking about like the 1960s experimental jazz musician known as Moondog, which if you're not familiar with Moondog, the musician, I highly suggest you probably don't listen to it if you're not into that sort of stuff. But if you are into like ambient experimental jazz stuff, as I drink this hilariously like bachelorette party sized glass of Chardonnay. Thanks to the faux labs here. Check out Moondog, the jazz. I don't know why I turned into Jeff Goldblum all of a sudden, but we're going to be talking about that movie. I saw The Dirt on Netflix, which we talked about last week, which was a lot of fun.
It was sick.
It was fun,
right?
I mean, okay. Here's the deal. Like, because you reviewed it last week, I'm not going to go too far into it, but I will say that it has its place in rockumentaries or biopics, because whereas stuff like Bohemian Rhapsody was a lot of just very illustrated, like, let's just make this because it looks good in a movie. Let's create drama.
Completely strayed from the truth and in no way realistic.
Right. Well, in The Dirt, I mean, the crew was on set like every day, being like, "Oh no, your diaper's on wrong, bro. It totally went like this," and and that was kind of cool.
Yeah, man. They said Tommy Lee and Nikki Sixx were there pretty much every day during like the 90-day film shoot or something like that, helping them out. And at the end of the movie, you get to see them goofing around with the cast of the movie too. Yeah,
and all the shots that they recreated from old VHSs of actual footage that they saw. So that was kind of fun. I mean, it is definitely a story of sex, drugs, rock and roll. I mean, there's not really much of a narrative there where you're gonna go, are they gonna make it? Well, dude, they're just partying. The band survives. Like, it's one of the few rock and roll stories where the band is actually, they still tolerate each other, and they still rock.
Well, I think they're still off and on with Vince Neil.
Well, because it's Vince Neil. He's the lead singer. That's lead singer woes. I mean, always. I mean, look, Van Halen. What do we got? Motley Crue. What was it? What Sebastian Bach left his band.
Skid Row.
Skid Row. Let's see who else. What lead singer did everybody else just completely hate? I'm sure there's more that we can think of. But this is a movie show, not a rock history show. Guys,
I don't know. Remember when we were trying to sell Vince on the
Wicked Scepter, the party tape,
on all of that great '80s music,
dude.
and we used movies,
dude,
for finding the good '80s music.
And I know Vince. I don't see Vince in the comments yet, but Vince is like, I don't like '80s movies or musics. Well, you're wrong on both counts, because dude, '80s hair metal is the jam. Like, I wish that the Grip would take down his 80s hair metal hair and just give it a waft. But he's not going to do it. Because I think I offered him like $100 once.
Got up there.
And he wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it was like last week.
Was it that? Well, guess what I brought to the table? I brought cash money. So if you want to see that hair, you join our Patreon and you subscribe, you like and subscribe, because I'm gonna make it rain on his hair tonight. Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's a lot of applause. Thanks, guys. So anyway, let's talk about movies. Oh yeah, McLean said John Lennon. Yeah, he split from the Beatles. It's just lead singer probs, man. But anyway.
I think there's at least one Beatle who'd take offense to John being called the lead singer.
Well, yeah, all of them probably. But let's talk about some news. I don't know if you heard about this.
All of them that are still alive.
Yeah. Well, how many of them are really living? Well, two of them, but
yeah.
All right, let's talk about news. There's not a whole lot of news this week, and I think that it's probably because April Fools. I don't know if people decided not to put a lot of news out this week, but I don't know if you read about the latest addition into movie technology. But THX, if you watched movies in the 80s and in the 90s, you knew what THX was. I mean, if you're a big nerd, you know the old Lucas short film THX, which is really weird and actually pretty awesome. But that's where THX, like the sound package, got its name. But it's
THX 1138.
Yes, exactly. So THX, it never really went anywhere, but it is sort of an industry standard of audio technical requirements and methodologies that make a really good audio experience. And we're very familiar with Dolby and IMAX and all of these other sort of technologies. Well, they're trying to bring THX back into the film viewing arena as a premium format. And so this was announced this week that there are going to be THX Ultimate Cinema experiences that are going to be slowly released around the country. I think starting in the Regency Theater in LA and then maybe expanding out. But this could be a new brand if they do it right.
Well, now is it going to be like THX all originally was? Because I worked at a movie theater, and we had a THX placard on one theater, and it was like, oh, see it in THX. But it wasn't a big deal because honestly, THX was just something you paid to be able to have the plaque. A guy would come out and he would measure distances between speakers or whatever, and
you'd get certified.
Yeah, and your license was yearly. So even if your equipment didn't change, if nothing changed, you'd have to pay for the privilege of saying you had a THX certified theater without any specialized equipment.
Well, I think they're trying to bring back the name, to bring back the quality, and to give people reasons to go to the theaters and have value in this theater experience.
Well, yeah, because Dolby Surround was always better than
well,
the THX.
And they're trying, the Dolby Atmos is trying to be a thing. But the problem with these formats is the format is only as good as the content. And, one of the things I love doing here on the Speakerbox is educating you as a film patron, because I want you to patron theaters. I want you to pay to see these movies because we vote with our dollar. And when the only movie you go see in the theater is, pardon my French, fucking Marvel movies, then you're paying to create a problem. And so, you know, when you understand what these things mean and understand where your dollar goes, I think you become a better informed consumer. And so, problem with like the IMAX and the LIMAX, which is a topic that we've covered here on the Drive-In Speed Rocks. The LIMAX, of course, you know, IMAX has a set of rigid guidelines to be called an IMAX theater. It is screen height, it is speaker placement, it is amount of speakers, it is what kind of system that they're on, it is a number of projectors and how many, like it's usually dual 4K digital projectors, and a lot of IMAXs do not meet these specifications, but they skirt through because the brand, they want that brand. It's like this IMAX experience, and it's not an IMAX theater per se. That's where the term LIMAX came to, and our IMAX theater is a LIMAX. It's just like it just puts you closer to the screen to make it feel bigger instead of actually being bigger.
The screen's bigger. It's just not IMAX big.
No, it's well. That's exactly. It's not IMAX big.
Yeah, but it's bigger than the other screens in the same theater.
And also, IMAX is a different size of film. You know, a lot of people don't realize that. Like, you know, when you talk aspect ratios, you know, like 16:9 is the size of the film. IMAX is way bigger than that. And most movies are not shot in IMAX because it's very expensive. You remember when I think it was The Dark Knight, I guess it was Dark Knight Rises, made a big deal because a handful of the scenes Christopher Nolan shot in IMAX. And if you saw them in an IMAX theater, just like Force Awakens, which I went to, the closest I think true IMAX we have is in Branson. And it's not the cleanest theater in the world, but it is a true IMAX theater that has not only the film IMAX projector, but the double digital projectors that fit the qualifications. But in those scenes where the directors filmed in IMAX, you know, you're watching it pretty much in 16:9, just real big for most of the movie. But then in those scenes, it like goes, and it's like big and it occupies the whole screen. And, you know, you can't just go, well, this is in a THX theater, therefore it's THX, right? That's like doing, yo, I watched a movie and it said Dolby across my phone, so it must be in Dolby. No, no, it's on your phone, dude. So the things have to line up. But McLean asks, isn't it all digital now? No, not really. There's digital and film. Film obviously still extensively more extensively more expensive. But they do have digital in its sensor size, and it's all about a cropping to a certain aspect ratio. So yes, there is digital, and no, it's not all digital. It's just expensive to do film. But THX, I'm really curious to see if this sticks because, you know, everybody knows Dolby, everybody knows IMAX, but if we can get this in, if we can get these ultimate cinema options, you know, they're talking about remastering content just for the THX experience, and I think that's going to be bullshit. I think it is because it's just, you know, it's like the 3D. Remember that?
THX is now a Disney property, right? They obtained it when they obtained Lucasfilm and Skywalker Sound and all of that?
I don't think they obtained Skywalker Sound. I don't think they did. And I think they just obtained Lucasfilm, and I don't think they grabbed the rights to THX because they wanted the intellectual property rights of Lucasfilm, which is the Lucasfilm Studios and all of the IPs attached. I'm going to have to look into this because I don't think THX and I don't think Skywalker Sound was attached.
You would think, though, with as much as Disney uses Skywalker Sound, and it'd be like a Pixar thing where they're like, it's its own thing.
They want it. I don't know.
But it's really our thing.
I'm going to have to look into that because I don't have the information. I haven't even thought about that, but I'm gonna, and we'll talk about it later.
Like ILM doesn't do hardly anything that's not
Industrial Light and Magic, for those of you.
Big Disney stuff anymore.
And I think that might be... Lucas. So Dina looked it up for us. She says Lucas doesn't own THX anymore, which makes sense if this is the thing that's going out into the world, because I don't think Lucas wants to do anything but sit and figure out, well, how isn't that got so big? You know, and figure out the science to make it smaller again. Sam said the first IMAX film that he saw was The Magic of Flight, narrated by Tom Selleck. So have you guys ever heard of the OmniMax Theater? Anybody? There's not many of them left. So one of the first IMAX theaters I ever experienced was not an IMAX, it was an OmniMax. And OmniMax was format. I think there might be 3 theaters left.
Is that where it blows wind on your face too?
Yeah.
It's
No, an OmniMax is it's usually I think there might be one in Disney World. I know there's one in Huntsville, Alabama, at the Space and Rocket Center, and then there's one probably in California somewhere. And the one I went to, obviously Alabama, because that's where I grew up. And it's like a domed screen that goes past your head. And you know, I can't remember the name of the movie, but it gave me motion sickness and I wanted to throw up. Yeah, see, there we go. OmniMax theaters. Check it out. There's one in Chicago. Yeah, no, dude, OmniMax theaters will absolutely make you barf your head out. Like, it is the scariest, craziest crap you'll ever do.
That's the outside of one?
Yeah, right there. There's the Cleveland, Ohio OmniMax. So I guess there's more out there than I thought. But you know, OmniMax, if you ever had a chance to go see a movie in OmniMax, freaking do it, because it is the wildest ride ever, because it's just...
Oh, that's a good one for showing how it is going all the way back.
Dude, it is just... Yeah, I mean, the seats recline, and you're just completely covered in screen. Like, everywhere you look. That's why it's called Omni. But it's awesome. It is awesome. And I saw something about space exploration. It was like, we took off in the space shuttle, and we're like... And then I was like, I hate this. Can I leave? And the whole bunch of, like, probably 4 cheeseburgers from Burger King that I pounded, because that was like my regimen as a fat child. I get 4 cheeseburgers and no fries, because why have fries when you have more cheeseburgers? Am I right? Am I right? Where my fat kids at?
Oh,
Where
dude,
are my fat kids at?
Fries are way better than any part of the cheeseburger.
You wrong.
You ever had fries before, bro?
Have you ever had a cheeseburger before? Get out of here with that. Especially a Burger King flame grilled, just kissed with the flame. It's like you can smell it from like down the block. You're like, ooh, Burger King. Yo, I'm a BK boy. I don't know if you must have grew up McDonald's or something, like with your Happy Meals and your chicken nugs. Like, I was a BK kid.
Straight up, that's what I got all the time was chicken nuggets. I'd eat the skin and then dip the chicken into the barbecue, but I'd always eat the skin.
See, when I was a kid, I always thought chicken nuggets from McDonald's tasted like fish sticks.
What?
And I was like, ugh.
No
Because
way, dude.
I knew. I was a gourmand even as a child. And I was like, this is artificial. I don't believe in it. And I mean...
Yeah, but Mickey D's always had the cool movie toys, like the Back to the Future cartoon toys.
Yeah, but when you're fat, you don't care about toys. You care about cheeseburgers. So my toy was that 4th cheeseburger. So it's like my first cheeseburger was the cheeseburger meal. And then my second cheeseburger was the fries. And my 3rd cheeseburger was just because I was fat. And that 4th cheeseburger was the toy. I'd like play with it. I'd be like, meow.
No way, man. I was about those movie collectibles. You know what I'm saying? Like the Batman glasses and the Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, like plushy heads, and the Disney's Tarzan straws that would make noise when you sipped through them.
And as Dina points out, Burger King had the Men in Black toys, though.
Who wants those?
So apparently McDonald's got a hold of these and like kept flashing your memory every time you ate their food. And they were like, oh, this was good, wasn't it? I don't remember, but...
You know what I think BK had, though? They had the Lord of the Rings goblet cups.
Dude, Lord of the Rings had the best 99-cent cheeseburger on. I'm not kidding you guys. I mean, seriously, just do the freaking drive-in Speakerbox cheeseburger challenge. This is what it's going to be. I want Vince up in Chicago, and Dina. I want everybody, Sam. I want all you guys in McLean down here in the chat comments. I want you guys to go to McDonald's and get the 99-cent cheeseburger, just a standard-ass, basic bitch cheeseburger, and then drive down the street to Burger King.
No, she didn't.
Mm-hmm. Because no matter where you go in the country, there's a Burger King not far from McDonald's, and you get the 99-cent cheeseburger from Burger King, and you sit there and you eat them side by side, and then you come back.
You're going to be sick. Don't do that.
No, you're not. You're just going to need to go to the gym for a minute. And then...
oh, yeah. Eat White Castle instead if you have one
no,
available to you.
White Castle, get out of here. Just because Harold and Kumar made that shit famous. Crystal Burger.
I had White Castle before...
Dude, Crystal Burger.
No, Crystal Burger was awful. We had one. It was... Dude, no. White Castle's way better than Crystal Burger.
Gauntlet Throne. Crystal Burger, excuse me, Crystal Chicks, fire. Crystal regular burger, fire. Crystal boom, crystal corn, the crystal pup, the corn pup. Get me started. Don't even get me started on the corn.
Have you ever been to White Castle?
I have been to White Castle.
A pizza slider?
Yeah, you can get that at Arby's, my guy. That's where they stole it from. And it's better at Arby's.
No, wrong. No.
Yo, just give it up for Dina. She knows what's up. BK's where it's at. Cheers to you, Dina. Blow. And White Castle can suck it. Like Crystal all day, every day.
Wow.
Dude, when did you eat at Crystal?
When we had one in Springdale, bro.
That was a garbage Crystal because it was operated by the guy that operated the Popeyes.
Have you ever seen any White Castle? They're all garbage. They're gross. You walk in and you're like, I didn't see this. I didn't see this.
Yeah,
dry.
exactly. That's why Crystal's better. But here's the thing. They tried to open up a Crystal Burger here in Springdale, Arkansas, and it was garbage because a proper Crystal is supposed to be 24 hours so that you get a proper regimen of alcohol in your system before you go eat there. And then you're like, hell yeah, and you can get a little bite of everything. Plus, it's just good. But here's the thing. The guy actually, you want to know a funny boom operator, Bo Count's like youth story involving that Springdale Crystals?
Yeah.
Okay. For those of you that are just now listening to this podcast and have no idea who I am, you can like and subscribe on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope. Find us on Twitter at Boom Operator. All the stuff's down here if you're watching the video stream. When I was younger and they had just opened up this Crystal Burger, yeah, dude, Crystal's good. And yeah, dude, see, in the comments.
Unreal.
Photomentals, he knows what's up. So anyway, they opened up this Crystal Burger, and I was like, oh man, I can't wait. It's my prayers have been answered. And I went, and my first experience was like, wait a second, this is not right. And then they were like, have a blessed day. And I was like, whoa, wait a second, wait, I know this phrase. Wait. And then they weren't open 24 hours a day. And no, it wasn't Chick-fil-A. I know where you're going with this.
You're telling me that the Popeyes people don't have to say that everywhere?
See, you're onto this. You know where I'm going. So the Popeyes people here in Northwest Arkansas, it's the same company that opened up this Crystal Burger. And so I have a history with the Popeyes people. And the history goes as this, because I grew up in Louisiana, and Popeyes is the Louisiana kitchen, guys.
No, that's bullcrap. Popeyes is chicken. The Louisiana kitchen is crap.
No, it is crap, but I also know what Popeyes is about because
chicken.
Yeah, it's about chicken, but it's, I know the state that it comes from, and I've eaten at some OG Popeyes. It doesn't mean they're better, but it does mean that they don't throw Bible verses at you every time you eat there, right? And so when I got there, I was like, wait a second. And you walk in the Popeyes, and my history with Popeyes, you walk in at the Springdale Popeyes, and it had like Corinthians, whatever, written on the curb in the concrete. And I was like, wait a second, that's weird. And then I walked in on the wall, it was like, John 17:45, chicken yo. And I was like, that's also weird. And then the person was like, hey, have a blessed day, Bible. And I'm like, what? I got it. That's 3 times Bible that I've eaten at this chicken. I get it. You guys like the Bible. You don't have to throw it down my throat. And then I got to thinking about it, and I was like, wait a second, I don't think this is the Popeyes business model. So I called Popeyes corporate, and I'm like 18 or whatever, and I'm calling Popeyes corporate. And I'm like, excuse me, is your business model based on the spreading of the Christian faith and these Bible verses? I'm just curious if you guys follow the Chick-fil-A model. And they're like, what? And I was like, well, I don't know if you knew this or not, but there's a store in this region that yada, yada, yada. And they are, pretty much telling me to go read the Bible every time I buy the chicken there. And I thought it was kind of weird that this doesn't fit your business philosophy. And then they were like, oh, well, yeah, that's not what we do. And so I get an email. I give them their email. I get an email from the owner of the Popeyes franchises here, and he's trying to pay me off in chicken. And no, seriously, this is a real thing that happened. And he was just like,
trying to successfully.
No, I am a man that stands firm in the face of free fried chicken, my friend. And
okay.
Yeah. Sometimes,
didn't you just say you're from Alabama, bro?
Yeah, but sometimes you gotta stand up for what you believe in. And so the guy was like, he's like, well, I'd be. I was like, well, he was like, sir, I'd be really interested in sending you a handful of coupons for some free chicken anytime you come in. I've got about, a coupon book with $100 full of free chicken that I'd be willing to send you. I'm really sorry you had a bad experience. I was like, well, how about you take the Bible verses down from inside the restaurant? And then, I mean, that might work too. Or off the marquee, the glowing marquee in the front. That'd be cool. And he's like, well, I don't think I can do that. And I was like, well, and I told this guy, and this is 18-year-old me, and I go, well, that McDonald's is right across the street? How would you feel if I put like a hijab on Ronald McDonald's statue out there and was like, yo, Allah be praised, big Allah, have a good McAllah meal? And he'd be like, that'd be offensive, sir. And I'm like,
yeah, it would be.
No, it wouldn't. I mean, it'd be offensive in the fact that they were using Ronald McDonald, who is obviously not a follower of Islam, to spread Islam. That would be offensive. So to use Popeyes chicken and biscuits to spread your personal philosophy, yes, it is very offensive. And I said, no, sir, I will not take your free chickens. And I wished I'd taken the free chickens because he didn't stop. But anyway,
$500 free chicken for life, Mr. Counts.
Just please do not rat me out to the Popeyes headquarters again.
Dude, if someone handed me that gift card for free chicken for lifetime, dog, like Andrew WK has that free Taco Bell for lifetime card that he got for doing that Netflix series. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's a little Netflix series. I don't remember what it's called. You can find it on IMDb, but it was like maybe 4 episodes long for a total of 45 minutes. And Andrew WK now gets free Taco Bell for all life because that's what his character in the TV show had.
Chicken for life. Mm-hmm. Chicken for life. Chicken for life. Chicken for life. You remember Chicken Tonight? That's where I borrowed. That was my inspiration for that song there. Chicken Tonight. Chicken Tonight. I'm pretty sure that was an old commercial in the 90s. My brain pulled it up, and I feel like the Labs are dialing it in here. But Sam had a similar experience at Hooters. Were they trying to press religion down your throat, Sam, at Hooters? I don't know. Vince said he's never heard that Popeyes is religious because they aren't. Here we go. Simmer sauces.
Everybody's saying, I feel like
chicken tonight, like chicken tonight. Wait, chicken tonight? Yeah, see, there it is.
Each one's made with real vegetables and herbs.
Real vegetables and herbs.
Like country French chicken and chicken cacciatore.
Dude, Sam, I hope that you got free chicken at Hooters for life, too.
Chicken tonight, like chicken tonight. Wait for it. Chicken tonight.
Simmer sauces from Ragu. Chicken tonight.
There it is. From Ragu. Oh, what happened to Chicken Tonight? I feel like Chicken Tonight.
What happened to movies?
We're talking about them. We're talking. No, here's.
Yeah, but
you want to watch a cool trick? Check this out. This is a cool trick. This is how I turn everything that we've been talking about fucking fried chicken for the past 20 minutes into references about movies. This is how corporations like Marvel, Disney, and all these places use the things that we like to shove their agendas down our throats so that they can sell us more things via mind control.
Like toys and action figures?
Toys, action figures.
Lego sets.
Company tie-ins, product tie-ins, releasing the toys for the Marvel Avengers that show the lineup before announcing the lineup so everyone's going to go out and buy the toys. That's how it works. It's all marketing, y'all.
I almost fell into that a couple weeks ago because they released the Ronin Hot Wheel, and it was the only one that was out, and I was like, oh.
The Jeremy Renner Ronin?
Yeah. I was like, am I supposed to see this right now? Mm-hmm. Like, I thought that someone put it on the shelf early. I was like, should I get it?
That's how they get you through the products that we consume. That's mind control, you guys. I don't want to turn into Alex Jones here or nothing, but tinfoil hats. Like, this is where it starts. It starts with it starts with things that we want to eat, things that we want to buy, things that we want to drink. Getting tied. This is a big glass, dude. Tied into the things that we view and the tickets that we buy, and they're just gonna get it. Sam asks, did we watch Joe Bob's new show on Shudder? What is it, like The Last Drive-In or something like that? I haven't watched it yet because I don't have a Shudder subscription. I should.
You should.
But we don't.
You like the creepy things.
I don't. Well, I do. I like all things, man. I like everything. I love life. I love artsy movies. I love horror movies. I'm not as big a fan of comedies, but I'll watch them. And I think the one genre that is really hard to get me to view is romantic comedies. And it's not because I don't like them. I just think they're very Did you just make that face because you love romantic comedies?
No, I was like, man, have you ever seen Fool's Gold?
I mean,
or Failure to Launch?
Yeah,
both of which star Matthew McConaughey.
And I've also seen like my favorite romantic comedy of all time is The Baxter, which is a fantastic romantic comedy that's also a parody of romantic comedies while being a romantic comedy. But you know, they're all very formulaic, and for the most part, I just don't enjoy them.
I think those are like the only two because they're McConaughey movies.
6 Days, 7 Nights. That's a really good romantic comedy.
Angry Harrison Ford crashes plane and sits on island with lesbian lady.
Well, she's not a lesbian in the movie.
And he wasn't angry.
DTF in the movie.
Oh, he was angry Harrison Ford in the movie.
Yeah, he's always angry Harrison Ford. Anyway, let's talk about movies that are coming out this weekend.
Not a good movie.
We need to. Speaking of old movies, because you know everyone's like, "Oh, guys, why do you always talk about these old movies?" It's because that's the only movies that ever get made. Are movies that we used to like because they're getting freaking remade constantly. So guess what's coming out this week? A remake from a comic from the '80s and a remake of the movie from the '80s. So first up, let's talk about Pet Sematary, a remake from a novel from a movie from the '80s. There you go. It's
this time with John Lithgow.
Dude. And this time I'm actually kind of excited about this. I think it might be pretty good. You know, Pet Sematary, based of course on the classic Stephen King novel of the same name, but no longer starring Herman Munster, Fred, what's his name? Fred Gwynn.
Yeah, Fred Gwynn.
Fred Gwynn,
yeah.
Who it was hilarious in that movie. Like, you better not bury the kitty cats in the Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, but he was also the judge in My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah,
he can be a pretty scary dude.
He can, but he wasn't in Pet Sematary. His accent was hilarious. But Pet Sematary, if you've never seen the original, actually watch it. It's really good. It's a little bit campy, but it's got a lot of good horror basics that I think a lot of movies are missing. It's one of the reasons that I like Us right now is because it is going back to sort of the core of what makes horror. It's not about jump scares. It's not about gore. It's not about all that crap. It's about scary cats and that little baby. No, go one down on the related images and one down, one to the right. No, back up. Related images, one more down, and right that kid like that. Look at that kid. How was he on set? That's what I want to know. Like,
probably terrifying.
You know, and that's the thing that I think is so amazing about the original Pet Sematary is that kid was scary AF in this film, but in this movie, it's not as young of a kid. Like, you don't see child actors of that pedigree, of that age anymore. You know, they just CGI them.
Because they found
now she's the dead one. Look at that kid. Look at that. Look at that. That's oh golly. Look at him.
They found out that they all become like real murderers and drug addicts and stuff. So
I mean, but look at he's got that scalpel, and you just want to like.
He looks like Chucky.
He's a real life Chucky doll. And when but here's the thing. Did you hear about? Well, speaking of Chucky, Mark Hamill's.
Yeah, I was about to ask. Did you see that they announced it at all the cons? Mark Hamill recorded little videos for all of the Comic-Cons around the country this last week, and announced that he is the voice of Chucky in the movies.
He is. I'm excited about that. But, Gentry coming in and saying that kid's best line was in Kindergarten Cop. Was that the boys have a penis, girls have a vagina kid. That kid in, now if memory serves, the kid that said, boys have a penis, girls have a vagina, he looked a lot like, an old Peter Lorre. Do you guys know Peter Lorre? Can we get a side-by-side of Peter Lorre and the kid that said boys have a penis, girls have a vagina from Kindergarten Cop? Like, come on. You know, this is just wait for it because I'm real good at this game.
Was it not the little girl that was in other '90s movies
No,
that said that?
no,
it was the little boy.
it was this little boy that had these Peter Lorre eyes. Like,
You know what?
You know that song, like, boo doo doo boom 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 boom. He'll freak you out.
Wait, Dolph
He'll
Lundgren
scare
in
you.
the Kindergarten Cop 2.
He's got Peter Lorre eyes. That's
Betty Davis, bro.
No, I know what it is.
There's
No,
that kid.
No, that's not the kid.
No,
that's
the one up.
he shoots the lasers.
The left.
No, I see the kid. He's also, but he's not the boys have a penis. There's a scary kid.
It's that kid right there.
I know. He's the cute little kid. I'm telling you.
Dude, I have a question real quick for you, man.
For me?
Who's your daddy and what does he do?
Who is your daddy and what does he do? I'm looking it up.
Like scuzzy cab drivers.
Is it boys have? No, I guess it is boys have a penis. No, there's another kid that I'm thinking of. Then, damn it. He was the boys have a penis kid.
Told you.
No, there was the other kid who
Act
has.
like I ain't never seen
There was
Kindergarten
another
Cop
movie,
before.
and he was
with the dude with his nasty little wet ponytail trying to like kidnap everyone. And
trying
then,
to kidnap his little blonde son.
Yeah, but here comes Beastmaster Ferret and it attacks him in the shower and he's like, ugh. Remember?
No,
You remember.
no, I do remember, but now I need to know this. It was this. No. Okay, it was the kid in Jurassic Park that didn't believe how scary the raptors were.
Oh, the little
That's
kid.
the Peter Lorre kid.
And he puts the claw on his belly.
Yes, Clawbelly Kid from Jurassic Park. Can we get a picture of Clawbelly Kid from Jurassic Park?
Totally, completely different movies.
Well, hey, he has a penis probably and talks about vaginas, and he probably grew up to be a cocaine murderer. Like that's the point of this, right?
That's who Arnie hunts down.
Yeah, there he is. Look at that weirdo. Look at that psycho kid. Like, what's wrong? Now pull up Peter Lorre. Yeah. See, I knew I was onto something. I was just thinking of the wrong obnoxious kid in a different movie.
Well, Jurassic Park and Kindergarten Cop, Kindergarten Cop and Alan Grant, neither one want to put up with kids. And then it turns out they're pretty good at it.
You remember when Dolph Lundgren made the sequel to Kindergarten Cop?
No, I just saw that. I just learned about that when that Google search came up.
No, it was for real deal, man. Carl asked when will they remake Beastmaster? When my prayers are answered.
What? No, remake. No, Beastmaster's perfect.
I mean, it is
Don't
perfect.
mess with it. Beastmaster 1 and 2 are the coolest.
Just Google search Peter Lorre Casablanca. It shouldn't take very long. It's Lorre. See, Vince Googled it. Vince, and here he goes. Yeah. See, Peter Lorre, and then the weirdo kid from oh man, we were gonna do anyway. All right, we digress. But the point is, Pet Sematary's coming out. So what's up, Quinn? The Wraith. Are we talking about that movie with it's a car movie that has not Tiger's blood. Help me out.
You're talking about Emilio Estevez's half brother.
Yeah, Tiger's blood.
Talking about
Charlie Sheen.
There it is.
There it is. Yes, The Wraith. I mean, look, give us a second. Like, all you guys out there at home have Google. We don't. I have a glass of Chardonnay. Like, that's how I'm.
I have a defective brain.
That has dusty roads on it.
Yeah, dude. Because I wined and dined with kings and queens and slept in alleys and dined on pork and beans. This weekend is WrestleMania, y'all.
Wait, do you have tickets to WrestleMania?
No.
Have you ever been to WrestleMania?
Yes. I was at WrestleMania 32.
The Wraith.
WrestleMania 32 in Dallas.
I want that Wraith helmet. It kind of, yeah, like that helmet kind of looks a little bit like the helmet that Christopher Walken wore in this movie called, I bet
Quentin could 3D print it.
Yeah, a little bit. No, you're gonna go down a rabbit hole of references in my brain, so we better stop. But I think it's called Brain. It's really good. It's a really good movie with Christopher Walken. Anyway, whatever. Somebody's going to put it in the comments. But, okay, Pet Sematary's coming out. You know what else is coming out? Shazam.
Mm-hmm.
Shazam's coming out from director David Sandberg, and it is the DC's answer to Deadpool for families. and
No.
oh, bro, go watch it. He's gonna be like, I'm a kid. Here's raunchy humor. I'm gonna sass mouth and punch a bad guy. What? I'm gonna sell tickets because people think it's funny.
That's Billy Batson, bro.
No, dude, I know, but I'm just saying.
The real Captain Marvel.
Exactly. And I'm sitting here with two comic fanboys. But the thing is like, you know, you have to understand that the studios, the studios they're not you guys.
Hey,
the studios are going to take it and then they're going to roofie it and they're going to take it home and do bad things to it.
Since we were talking about merchandising and how the movies will just sell you toys, I was looking at toys the other day for reasons, and they have all of the heroes that later form Captain Marvel when it's the 5 orphans rather than just Billy Batson, where they all like their powers combined make
they're like the Captain
Marvel.
They're like the orphan Captain Planet.
Yeah. And then eventually they all become their own Captain Marvels. They have the toys of them out, even though they're probably not in this movie. So that's
sequel. Because here's what they're doing. They're gonna go, oh man, my child feels like he's an outcast and can't identify with anybody. So we're gonna sell these toys and see if we can get them hooked on these toys. And if they get hooked on these toys that they can identify with, we'll give one like a limp, and we'll make one fat, we'll make one bad at basketball, and we'll make one a blogger, and we'll make one, you know, like not have a girlfriend, and then they're gonna all be Shazams, and then they'll sell the toys, and guess what? Movies coming afterwards, and there's gonna be a TV show and more toys and a Burger King kids meal, and then it's gonna be.
But the thing about that is they've made Batman toys for decades, where it's like Ice Blaster Batman. You never see that.
What
They
do you
just
mean?
make the
Ice Blaster
toys to
Batman?
make toys. Well, it's
when
like
he steals Mr. Freeze's.
This is a
Yeah.
new marketing strategy. They're trying to make because the money's not the toys. The money is the $2 billion movie deal.
dude, you want to know what? Hey,
It used to be the movie made the toys. Now it's the toys make the movie. They flipped the game.
I don't think that's how it works. How much of this wine have you drank? You know what's super cool and how we always promote the DC animated universe?
Yeah.
Well, our friend here at Fun Labs showed me earlier the trailer for Batman vs. Ninja Turtles.
Okay, that's gonna be sick.
And it looks
That's gonna be sick.
amazing.
Hey, I'm still like I may bash on the DC live action. I'll bash on the DC live action all day long. Like that stupid April Fool's Aquaman trailer they dropped today. Whatever. But those DC animated movies still
Check this out.
Awesome.
Well, and it has, dude, the cast in the movie is incredible. You have Troy Baker doing the voice of Batman and Joker. You have John DiMaggio. You have
Jay DiMaggio.
Tom Kenny. You have Alex. Oh, I can't remember his last name. The guy that did the voice of,
Corey
Rocco from Rocco Modern Life.
Yeah, but will Corey Feldman reprise his role as Donatello?
No, he's dead.
No, that's Corey Haim, bro.
I thought Corey Feldman died not long ago after he tried his terrible music.
No.
Oh.
Dude, but that dance moves.
Who else is it?
Can we get Corey Feldman's thoughts on the Neverland documentary? Can we do that? Can I call up Corey? Can we get him on the phone?
No, you can't. You don't have that kind of access.
Yet.
Anyhow, this Batman vs. Ninja Turtles.
like
we
and
could do a call-in.
subscribe.
We could do a call in eventually.
Like and subscribe, and we'll get Corey Feldman on the phone. We'll talk about Lost Boys, and he'll hate it. No, actually, we're going to talk about National Lampoon's movies that he was in. That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about License to Drive. We're going to talk about we're going to talk about all of the stuff.
License to Drive
We're going
is
to talk about
sweet.
Tales from the Crypt, Bordello of Blood.
That's a
That's
good
what
one.
we're going to talk about. We're going to get Corey Feldman on the line
Anyhow,
tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to Shazam a whole bunch, despite what you say, man. Shazam looks sick.
Batman versus Splinter.
Yeah, dude, ninja on ninja.
Dude, I grew up on the Turtles. Better see Batman eating pizza. Batman better eat some pizza with the Turtles. Do you guys like penicillin on your pizza? You're like, dude.
He's only going to eat if Alfred serves it.
So, hot take, the original TMNT live action movie is the best Turtles property ever to be created ever. Prove me wrong.
You know what? Hey,
Prove me wrong.
the guy that's doing the voice of Alfred is the dude who plays Dr. Bashir's dad in Star Trek.
What does that have to do with Ninja Turtles?
In the movie, bro. The voice
Oh,
acting
Alfred.
cast
I
is,
forgot.
yeah.
Like Alfred's, but Alfred's not a Ninja Turtle. I'm focused on the turtles.
We're gonna do a
Alfred's
watch
former
party.
SAS, man. Alfred kicks so much butt.
I'm focused on the turtles.
All right,
Like
go.
Alfred does kick butt, and so does. And I was always a Lucius Fox guy. Dude. Lucius was the jam.
No way, dude.
Pulling strings, never have to get involved, and always and still being rich, and not have to clean up after Master Bruce all the time. Come on now. Did Lucius have to make bacon and eggs for a beat up Bruce? Nah. Alfred does, because Alfred's Bruce's little bitch.
No, dude, because
And he's got some weird complex daddy issues about Bruce. I don't know. I don't even want to peel that onion.
no, dude, he's
The Burbs?
loyal,
Dude.
and honorable.
I don't know why Tony just brought up the Burbs, but little known fact about the old boom operator is the Burbs is on one of my short list, top 5 best movies of all time. Prove me wrong. You can't do it, because the Burbs is an amazing masterpiece of freaking cinema.
It's creepy.
No, not as creepy as it should have been. So here's the thing: is the Burbs was the original Us. No.
In Us, there's a overall wearing ginger man with bad teeth and My Favorite Martian.
No,
like
thematically, because Jordan Peele went on record today saying about, Us is about this sort of, let's take a look at the duality of people. Let's look at us as the villains. Let's take a look back at the man in the mirror, so to speak, and say we're the bad guys the whole time. And the original plot of Burbs actually had a different ending. And the ending was dark, and this is back when, not back when. Test audiences still make a huge difference. But the original ending was, the scene where Tom Hanks gets into the ambulance and is like, oh, take me to blah, 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 blah. Well, they never found the skulls. Like, they blew the house up. Like, none of that was real. Like, the skulls weren't in the trunk at the very end. They were the whole metaphor of the movie was originally supposed to be that we're the problem. It's suburban America that can't keep their business to themselves, that can't keep their nose, out of somebody else's stuff. We're constantly wanting to stir the pot, that we create our own drama, which I think is more relevant today than it's ever been.
So Cops and Robertsons was the initial Burbs, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but Cops and Robertsons, he was the bad guy.
Or like Harry and the Hendersons was the original Burbs, is what you're getting at.
Dude, can we just get back to how awesome the Burbs is for a second? And also one of the best scores by Jerry Goldsmith ever.
Scissorhands.
Come on. This vintage is, I don't know, yesterday. Anyway, okay, so Pet Sematary and Shazam coming out in theaters this week. Are we? Is it time to review a movie? Is that what we need to do?
Yep.
Now that I've got a little buzz on, I think it's appropriate to talk about the next movie. That was my purpose. I'm doing.
Is it?
It's method.
Okay.
It's method.
Gotcha.
I don't know if you guys know about method or not.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah. Carl says, definitely think that ending is better, but could see why it didn't land as well. And this is true, because audiences were like, no, most audiences want a clear-cut ending. Most audiences don't want to walk out of a theater thinking like, oh, should I reevaluate my life? Should I evaluate my decisions? Should I think about anything more than how cool lasers were? Like, no. And that's the problem with a lot of movies these days. They get us in the theater and they go, people view movies like, man, I just want to go to the theater, have fun for a minute. Like, why are you trying to make me think, man? I just want to know what's good. And like, movies are the Matt coming in with the Klobik is that? Oh yeah, fine Christian name. Hans Christian Andersen. Great. God, the Burbs is so good. But anyway, no, the problem with movies these days is nobody wants to go to the theater to think or feel. And people want to go to escape. And I think that filmmaking, storytelling is, there is an avenue for escape, but there is also an avenue for learning, for feeling, and for thinking. All of these things are places for films in the theater. And I think that is a good segue into talking about our next film, which is The Beach Bum.
Which was one of those movies where you're not just super stoked and thinking about lasers, and you have to leave the movie theater thinking about things.
Half the people in my theater left.
Really?
They got
Oh,
up and
whack.
left. Because I think they thought it was going to be like Pineapple Express. You know, I
Or
think
you last week telling the world that it's going to be the next Big Lebowski.
no, his character I said is going to be remembered as a Lebowski, and I stand by that statement. I think that McConaughey's Moondog will be remembered as like this character that lives longer than this movie. You know, everyone's saying, are we entering a new McConaissance 2.0? I wouldn't go that far, but I will.
McConaughey never left, y'all.
Yeah, McConaughey never left. But the thing about Moondog is this is from the director Harmony Korine, and he, you know, known for Kids in the 90s. My first experience with him was not with Kids, but it was with Gummo, which we talked about last week. A lot of people got familiar with him in 2012 with Spring Breakers. But
Has it been that long since that movie came out?
I know, it has been. Isn't that crazy how fast time flies? But he, you know, he hasn't done a whole lot. He's done some documentaries. He did a Rihanna video short, and he did some other stuff. But, you know, the thing about Hermione is Harmony. I want to call him Hermione because Ravenclaw, you know what up?
Hermione was a Gryffindor, bruh.
No, I'm a Ravenclaw.
Nerd alert. Ravenclaw were the nerds, bro.
Dude, with your Hufflepuff ass, get out of here.
No, dog. I'm Gryffindor.
Oh, nerd alert! Called him out. I knew calling you a Hufflepuff would bring out the truth.
Dude, because who wants to be a little, like, kitchen bitch Hufflepuff, bruh?
Oh, no, she didn't.
I mean, true life.
That's what I'm saying, dog.
All right. Well,
Brave AF.
us Ravenclaw,
Courageous.
us Ravenclaws and Huffledores, we can set aside our differences.
You know what's tight about being Gryffindor is that you get to be smart too, bro.
Hey,
Suck
Gentry.
it, Ravenclaw.
There's my Ravenclaws. What up? Where my Ravenclaws in the audience?
You know
out on
who was a
Facebook.
Ravenclaw? You know who was a Ravenclaw in the movies?
Your mom.
Cho. And you know what Cho did? Turn him in to the evil cat lady scratch your hand person. So,
Miss Mearsons?
yeah, I forget what her name is.
Miss McGonagall.
No,
McGonagall
McGonagall was-
Mearsons.
no.
She was a cat lady.
Yeah, McGonagall was the cool one that could turn into a cat. I'm talking about the lady that had all the cat plates.
Oh, with like the lesbian haircut.
Wow. What? No.
I mean,
The drive-in
in a
Speakerbox
cool way.
apologizes.
No, it's a cool. You know, I mean, you know what I'm talking
It's a
about.
cool stereotype, dude. No, dude, I'm talking about the evil woman,
Guys.
the Betsy DeVos of Harry Potter.
Oh, now you're going Betsy DeVos on this.
Political.
Yeah,
You're
you know,
dropping. You're dropping. Yeah, okay, so we got some Slytherins in the house. We got some Gryffindors. Damn.
Who all's taking this quiz and they're like, "Oh, I'm Slytherin." No, you ain't. You ain't pure blood wizard playboy. You can't be Slytherin if you ain't pure
I
blood.
don't know. If you've tasted McLean's gumbo, he might be full on Slytherin. And speaking of gumbo, if you guys want to go out to the Ales and Tales Festival this weekend, this Saturday. Okay, in the comments, we just had,
Umbrage. Thanks,
we just
Tina.
had the Grips Mama tune in, who is not a Ravenclaw, apparently.
Not what?
Not a Ravenclaw.
One of my parents.
I'm
Either one
sorry.
of them. Thump you, dog.
But anyway, but no, speaking of gumbo, speaking of McLean, here's a little fun fact. Pinpoint, my bar, that if you've never been, you should. We are having a gumbo cook-off team at the gumbo cook-off at the Ales and Tales Festival this weekend. Oh, what? We gonna come and drop the gumbo on ya. And so, yeah, so if you want to go check it out, it's all the crawfish you can eat, but you also get to taste the gumbo. There's, I think, 9 or 10 teams that are going to be competing, and we're going to smoke them all under the distinctive Slytherin tutelage of our head chef, McLean, who is going to be gumbing it up for you. So you can check that out this weekend, Saturday afternoon at the fairgrounds.
You know-
Ales and Tales Gumbo Cook-Off.
You know who could probably get down on gumbo and boiled peanuts? Moondog, man.
Let's talk about Moondog.
Let's talk about
Harmony
Moondog.
Korine, like his movies have a thing about them. They have a gritty realness that a lot of average audiences can. It's hard for people to sort of stomach a lot of his movies, and you know, his films, you either really like them, really hate them, or you are not sure what you think about them, and the more you think about them, then about 8 years later, you're like, I really love that movie. That was my feeling with Gummo. I was like, oh, yeah. And then I came to really appreciate this movie. And there's something that he does in his method of storytelling that I think, you know, if you look at the reviews of Moondog, they're very polarized. A lot of some of the most well-respected film critics that are being published right now, like New York Times and all this kind of stuff, they're like, I don't really know how I felt about blah, blah, blah. And then some people are like, oh, this is a masterpiece. It's so great. McConaughey, yada, yada, yada. But almost exclusively, you look at Rotten Tomatoes and every single average Joe, like, hey, man, you know what? I want to go see Captain Marvel. You know, when's the next Captain Marvel? Like Avengers Endgame? I want to go see some of that fighting, you know. Those people are walking out of the theater, and I had a group of 6 leave the theater, and like as Tony says here on our Facebook comments, he said he thought Kids was real for years, and so you know,
this movie was done in conjunction with Vice, you know, when they kept that real like documentary follow you around, captured footage
vibe.
Like type thing going. Yeah.
Well, and you know, as I read an interview with Harmony, he said that this movie was very much about time that he spent living in the Gulf, living down in Florida, and actually featured a lot of people that he met when he lived down there, like real Florida residents. That live down in the Keys, that live down in this part of the country, that you know, a lot of people that know anybody that lived on an island, people that lived in Jamaica, people that lived in the Marshall Islands, people that lived in Belize or in the Keys. There's a concept of island time, and unless you've ever been really close or been friends with some of these people, you don't understand. Like, island time seems like a gimmick, and the first time that I became really good friends with somebody that spent and lived their life in the islands, and they're like, oh dude, sorry, island time. I was like, man, this is just a crutch for you being late as fuck. Like, get your shit together and come in. And like, I've been sitting here for 30 minutes, but it wasn't until I really got to know them that this is a real thing, and it's a way of life for these people. And this movie is a very sort of it's hard to explain this movie, I think
it is, because it's kind of you followed this guy around for mostly about a week of his life, and then it steps the time scale up, and it's a lot. It's a movie about nothing.
It is a movie about nothing,
but it's not like a movie for the story. It's a movie for the feel. Does that make sense?
No, it absolutely makes sense. And
like, if you watch it like that,
I was curious, because I was curious if you were going to like this movie or not.
I mean, I did, but it was after. So I walked out of the movie, you know, and it was like, well, that was about nothing. And I hated the way that this movie ended. And there's just so much of it. I was like, well, that's dumb. I don't know about that.
Because the movie was about, and this is the thing, if you walk, the movie's about the journey. The movie's about life.
But I got in my car and I went next door to the
Clerks.
store. And then a song came on over the intercom in the store, and then all of a sudden I was like, "Oh, I get it," you know. And I was like,
"Because it's
Moondog.
It's stuck in your brain." And that's the thing is, I don't like pot comedies. I don't like substance abuse comedies where it's like, "Hey man, we're gonna do the party of our life. We're gonna do dabs. Now we're running from the cops and everything's crazy." This is not that movie. This movie,
but it is that movie.
It is that movie, but it's not that movie, because this was his life. It was about seizing every moment. It was about this. If you were to take that old cliche of stop and smell the roses, and distilled it into a philosophy, it was what this movie was. Like, this movie, you know, it had a beginning, a middle, and an end, but it was very much like an Aristocrats joke. As when I walked out of it, I was like, this movie is very much like an Aristocrats joke, which is filthy and raw and crude, but it's not about the beginning. And it's not about the end, the punchline. It's about the middle. It's about the journey between the two. And, you know, when you leave that theater, you're going to sit there and you're going to go, what the hell was this movie about? And the movie was about you sitting there going, what the hell was this movie about? The movie was about just experience.
Or it's about being a reefer addict parrot head.
Well, Yeah, I mean, and that's the hard thing to explain movies from Harmony is that, the character Moondog, like you sit down in this theater and like, oh yeah, it's just going to be a big reefer movie. It's not. It's about this guy who has so much talent and he has been afforded so much in life and it's all stripped away from him. But, and he's like, well, I got to do this thing, but in the middle of doing this thing, it doesn't matter about the thing, man. It's the people that he meets along the way. It's the experiences that he has. It's it's the inspiration of life. It's the poetry of every day and every person that you meet and every adventure that you get into and every dumb situation that crosses your path, that it becomes a story on a Saturday night that 10 years down the road, you go, remember when we did this thing? Yeah, that was awesome. And this movie is just about living those experiences and understanding that those are what makes the eventual tapestry, not did he get the $1 billion at the end? Did he succeed in the mission? No.
Yeah, because it kind of had like this Brewster's Millions thing going. Mm-hmm. But he just wanted to be Moondog, man.
That was all the movie was about.
The movie's about him being Moondog, and there's nothing that can change that.
Yeah, man. And it's like...
It's a very McConaughey movie.
$50 million, man. It's like, that's be real cool to party on, but do I really need it to party? Well, at the end of this adventure, I guess I really don't. So I'm going to just keep being Moondog. And oh, man, it's so hard. It's a really difficult movie to explain.
It's very difficult to explain, yeah. But it really was. It was afterward, and I heard a song, and then it just like clicked. I was like, oh.
And
I get it because it's the feeling of it's
feeling. Like that's it. It's just feeling. And it's weird how a movie that is just about feeling feelings, he was able to capture that in a weird way. Because guess what? I don't like reefer comedies. Guess what? I hate Jimmy Buffett. I loathe Jimmy Buffett.
You don't even like Up in Smoke or Next Movie?
Not really. But yeah. And, Snoop Dogg's in it, and Martin Lawrence.
Snoop Dogg's in it a lot.
And he is in it a lot. And Martin Lawrence, like that Martin Lawrence bit was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life, but it was the best thing that I've ever, like dolphins, man. Don't shoot that. You're going to hit a dolphin, man. Like, shoot this. Like this, okay, so Matt asks, do I see myself watching this again? Me personally, by myself, probably not, because I don't watch a whole lot of movies by myself again. But to measure for me to measure a movie by rewatching it is, would I show this movie to another person and watch it with them? Probably, and because I want to experience that person's experience.
This is one of those movies where you're like, oh, I know what we can watch, and you put it on for somebody, and you watch it with them, and then they're like, not into it, and they're like, oh, I don't get it, and you're like, okay, well.
And now we have a metric for our friendship.
That ruins
like this
it.
This is how I measure you as a person. Like, did you get it? Did you tune into it?
It's definitely not Lebowski level like you had thought it would be. And that character...
In fact, I think it goes a step above Lebowski level in terms of... Hear me out. I know you made a face. What? In terms of storytelling. Like Big Lebowski tells... It is a structured narrative of the dude, and it is an adventure. It is a closed beginning, middle, and it has a climax. It's very clear cut, and it has a finish. And you're like, oh well, the dude persists. And
that's not what he says.
No, but that's what I said. And but Moondog is a different character in a sense that. I believe that there's Moondogs out there. I don't think there's a dude out there.
I'm like, oh yeah, there is. The dude is kind of everybody, man. There's a part of you that's the dude because you're just minding your own business and someone pisses on your rug and you want reparations, man.
I know, but Moondog is about like
Moondog is someone that and you're like
Moondog's about
that guy's a mess.
Me finishing this other one and being like, well, what are we gonna do later, man? It's just like. The glass is empty, but that's a good thing.
Moondog is that guy that you see, and he's always wasted, he doesn't have any of his life together. And you're like,
No.
oh, how does that guy survive?
No, it's not about
Yeah.
him because I've known those guys and they suck. No,
Yeah, Moondog sucks, man.
no, I mean, he does suck. But Moondog is more of a character that's about like the guy that you meet that is just so in tune to something that you're not in tune to. Man, it's like, have you ever seen? And he's my friend Will Shashula, and I know that this guy's never gonna watch this stream, and I'm gonna Will Shashula, if you're listening, then I'm sorry, dude. This is how I feel about you. Like for many years of my life, I felt that my friend Will was. You remember that episode of the Looney Tunes where Bugs Bunny gets hit in the head with like an anvil or something heavy, a piano, I don't know, whatever. But then he's like in a daze. He's like, boo, and there's Tweety birds and stars and stuff. And he walks through the construction zone and like, you know, I-beams are lining up as he's walking past them, and like imminent death is like looming at every corner, and there's like rivets going past his brain, and he's like, whoa, and he feels like a moment, and he dodges everything, and like the world is like trying to just murder this dude at every stop of the way.
Thanks, Vance.
And he's just tuned into this vibe, right? And it's that protects him through this journey, and then he comes out okay at the end. And that's Moondog. He's like so in tune to this vibe that none of us can understand, that he's so invested that everything's just going to be okay, man. It's like his wife in the film. She knew that he was going to outlive her because she knew that he was tapped into something that...
Well, that's his whole thing, man. He's so loosey-goosey that no matter what he gets into, he just goes with it and he can't get hurt, right?
Yeah, he can't. He's tuned into it. And so, I don't know, Beach Bum, man, it's a weird movie, and it's playing locally at our Malco, and I would never recommend this movie to anybody, except I would recommend this movie to people that want to think about, the journey. They just want to think about, like, Matthew McConaughey, fantastic. If you wanted to see, like, a 2-hour version of that Lincoln commercial that he's driving the car, and he goes... Hey man, a buffalo in the road is a lot like the sunset in your soul that just like smokes a doob.
But that guy drunk, like...
Yeah, and he's like, hey man, when a shooting star falls down the atmosphere when you're on your porch eating a hot dog, well, when you take a bite of that hot dog, it's like taking a bite out of your like self, you know what I'm saying? And then you just ride that wave down to the cosmos and that Milky Way. You put that Milky Way in your Crafton Crunch, baby, and you just crunch that cereal down to the next day, man. You just wear that diaper of Crafton Crunch until you ride that wave of cosmic energy till you find that
Moondog's
pearly gates, man.
See, he's way more lively than that, though, is the thing. He's like drunk and rambly. I don't know. I wouldn't say that I would not recommend it, but
no, you shouldn't see. If you want to go watch Shazam, don't go watch this.
But I want to watch Shazam and not watch this.
Yeah, but you're different. That's why you're the grip. That's why you're in this chair, is because you can watch Fast and the Furious and somehow find a nugget of inspirado out of it, and then you can leave and you can go, but you know what? I'm going to sit through this Hindi 3-hour like Bollywood film and also find something in it. That's why you're here.
Well,
hey man, the beach is a flat circle, man.
I thought Beach Bum was okay, man. You had some, there were some funny jokes and stuff in it, but yeah, I think no one else in the theater understood the movie at all.
Well, it's not a comedy, and that's the thing. It's a drama.
Everyone started laughing or talking amongst themselves about halfway through. A lot of people looked like they couldn't wait to get out of there. As soon as the credits hit, people ran out of the theater. I was the only one that kind of stuck around and watched
him float around in that.
Well, yeah, come on, man.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I stood around and watched it and was just enveloped in the
experience,
the feeling that the movie had created for you to be in. And so that's where I sat. And I sat there with Moondog, and I was just like in it.
Well, and that's the point. I honestly, I think that's why the credits were the way credits were. It was like to let you sit and just sort of jam in that vibe that he was in. And
yeah, but
you know, because
it makes you think. You're just like, what's his deal, man?
His deal was life.
Yeah, well,
His deal was the moment. I mean, it was very much. It was a chapter out of a Jack Kerouac book. It was a chapter out of Hunter S. Thompson article. It was a little bit of this road poet that it stop, smell the roses, find these moments, find these interactions that make life interesting, because it's one of the things, and this is kind of strange, but one of the things that I always say, like, I love eating at restaurants. It's one of my favorite things to do. And a lot of people are like, well, should we check the reviews? Should we check, what is this restaurant good? Is it bad? I don't know. And I'm like, you know what? Who cares? Let's go. If it's new, let's go check it out for the experience. Because if you have a bad experience, if you had a great experience, whatever. But if you have a negative experience, if you have a moment that is important, where all of us are sitting there and we have this sort of visceral like experience of a terrible thing, where we're all laughing, we're all like having this crazy time, that even a bad moment, even a negative experience becomes a part of that tapestry of your memory, of your existence. And in fact, some of those shitty times end up becoming some of the most vibrant memories that define you as a person. And this movie is, I didn't have this epiphany when I sat in the theater, but it was as I thought about this movie that I was able to go, you know what? Those are the things that define us. It's not winning the money because I published the book. It's about meeting Zac Efron with the fucking panini like haircut.
It did look like a panini.
And like that. Those are the moments that really.
This is Christian rock, dude.
Like those are and I hate Zac Efron too. And I was into that. I was into that character. But that's what made this movie pretty awesome. Is it's those moments that make you feel like you're alive.
Or in Florida with all the weirdos.
Yeah. I don't know. It's some Kurt Vonnegut shit, as Dina says over on the YouTubes. She also says a less aggressive David Foster Wallace. Yes. Yeah, a little bit. Current shoots Solitary Woodward on the Moon Tower 20 years after Dazed and Confused Part 2. I want to see another. Hey, man, we keep getting older, but they stay the same age.
Hey, speaking of things we want to see, when is our Don Quixote movie?
April 10th.
Ooh, a week from this Wednesday.
Tickets reserved. If you don't have your tickets to The Man Who Killed Don Quixote one-night screening, Fathom Events, fathom.com. You can check it out, fathomevents.com, not fathom.com. I think that's probably a whole different under-the-sea sort of thing. You can do it. And I think there's only like maybe 10 seats available here left. Like as soon as it was announced, I bought a whole row. I was like, I'm going to find the friends later, but we going. So, yeah, there you go. Yeah, we'll see Dina there. Dina bought a ticket, so it's gonna be a good time. So, all right, well, let's do the box office roundup because it is that time. I'm out of wine. We need to talk about the weekend of March 29th through 31st, 2019. Let's talk about the top 10 movies in America. The way we do this, we're gonna let this truck pass with the loud, cool engine. All right, bro. Top 10 movies in America. We're going to go through number 10. We're going to go to number 1. We got Vince posting the Fathom Events link in the comments. You can check that out there. Again, if you're listening to just the audio version only of this, which is going to be coming pretty soon, you can follow us at Drive-In Speakerbox on your Periscope. You can follow at The Drive-In Speakerbox on Facebook and / The Drive-In Speakerbox on YouTube. Boom Operators are Twitter. And guess what? Special announce. We signed a lease on a new studio space. So we're going to have Drive-In Speakerbox Studios! It's a lot of violence. Yeah, so we're
Please don't let there be machine guns at the studio.
I don't want any. I'm a pacifist, dude. I don't need guns. But yeah, we're going to be migrating to a new studio space that's going to be dedicated. We're going to build a Drive-In Speakerbox set. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be, 35th anniversary of Karate Kid, this Sunday night and this Tuesday night, Fathom Events. If you want to see Karate Kid in theaters. I highly recommend it. Wax on, wax off, paint the fence. Yes,
Same
sand
time as
the floor.
WrestleMania.
Oh, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? If you've never seen Karate Kid, do yourself a favor, see it in the theater.
Oh, but I've seen Karate Kid like 500 times.
I've seen it in the theater before, but it's awesome. You should see it again in the theater. Drive-in
Dude, but in the
Speakerbox
theater,
recommends.
I'll just be telling the Karate Kid what a butthole he is, and I'll be like, shame on you, Elizabeth Shue.
Elizabeth Shue doesn't even know what's up. She left Daniel San for the quarterback in Karate Kid 2 when he went to Okinawa and saved that entire fucking village.
Yeah, well, Daniel was a prick, huh? So she
He was
probably
a-
found that out.
Yeah, he was. Yo, hey, I'm just gonna say that was it John Brion? No, it wasn't John Brion. It was who did the score? God damn it, my brain, my wine brain. Hang on a second. Karate Kid score. This is what all you guys are doing. Bill Conti, duh. He did not just Karate Kid, but he also did he did Crocodile Dundee. Yeah, dude, can we just play a little bit of Karate Kid? Like, can we play the song where he's like on the boat with Miyagi-san and they're doing the crane kick, which is the stupidest thing on oh, Derek, what's up, man? We talk about that the Bill Conti score. It's like da da da. Dude, where is it at? He also he did Rocky, but oh, dude. Oh, is this where Miyagi-san's drunk and and it's like a sad moment where he realizes that he lost his love? No, he's talking about side to side, paint the fence. Yeah.
Just Pat Morita sounds drunk.
So, did you know, fun Karate Kid facts, that yeah, you do it or not, you don't, you squish just like great.
Fighting. Same.
Yeah, but you knew karate.
No, karate.
Always know more.
True.
You know, at times when you were scared to fight.
Oh, man. Do-do-do-do-do. Dude, the Bill Conti score, that wasn't any of the score. That was just a sound clip. But no, here's the thing. So Pat Morita was not originally cast to be Mr. Miyagi. It was actually Toshiro Mifune, who was a very famous Japanese actor at the time. Very famous from films that he did with Akira Kurosawa, Seven Samurai.
Mifune is way too badass to be dealing with Daniel's bullshit.
Well, he was also too English as a second language to be dealing with Daniel's bullshit.
Meanwhile,
And-
Pat Morita was Arnold too.
No, well, here's the deal: is they had done a casting call, and Toshiro Mifune was unavailable for a lot of shooting, so they were like, "Shit, we got to cast somebody else." And so they did this big casting call, and no one was Toshiro, because the deal with Toshiro is he brings a lighthearted charm with a serious aftertaste. That's what they wanted. But then Pat Morita happened to be on the soundstage that day, and they were like, what about this guy? And then he came in, nailed it. Mr. Miyagi. It was a total accident that we got Pat Morita as Mr. Miyagi. Pour one out for Pat Morita. Pouring one out. This is when they're on the boat. Yeah, the boat. Yeah, the crane kick would never work in real practice. Don't ever do it.
Let's get these top 10.
Okay, fine. You have to go to work. Stop wrangling my essence. Didn't we watch Moondog? God, we're just trying to live in the moment, you guys. All right, top 10 movie in America. The Beach Bum. Ooh, debuting at number 10. So from Neon Pictures, $1.7 million, only in 1,000 theaters nationwide. But it only brought in $1,763,000 at the box office. Not a very good opening for The Beach Bum. But which is crazy because the number 8 movie in America was in a lot less theaters and did way better. We'll go to number 9, Tyler Perry's A Medea's Family Funeral from Lionsgate, bringing in $2.6 million somehow in its 5th weekend release. Guess what? $70 million. Who are these people? Who are these people? Yeah, Grip is the fun police. Yeah, you are. You are the... And I don't know if, going back to John's comment on Facebook, I don't think Mifune was considered to be Darth Vader, but even if he was, I don't think that was...
I don't think that was ever a thing.
The number 8 movie in America with only 924 theaters nationwide, Hotel Mumbai from BST bringing in $3.1 million in its second weekend release, $3.3 million domestically at the box office. Number 7, How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World from Universal, bringing in $4.3 million in its sixth weekend release, $129 million. Budget. That's a big one. But it has brought in $153 million domestically.
Did its job.
It did its job. It's pulling the load. It's carrying the line. It's towing it worldwide. Made a bunch of money. Here we go, number 6. Paramount bringing in Wonder Park with $5 million. $5 million at the box office this weekend. 3 weeks. It's been out there. Brought in $37.9 million. It's doing its job as well. Wonder Park.
Think so?
I mean, Wonder Park didn't have as big of a budget because it wasn't attached to DreamWorks. It was Paramount. They ain't Disney. They ain't Pixar. They ain't DreamWorks. They just these other guys, you know what I'm saying? They just riding that train of CGI, trying to find that horizon money. Well, you just ride that cash to a Lego film. Well, you do about blocks, man. You do a movie about, what is it, Lincoln Logs? You do Lincoln Logs as a movie, man, and you gonna make all that money. I don't know. That was my McConaughey Lincoln Log movie. Look at how not. Why don't you read a list? Why don't you do number 5? Make me do all the work.
Number 5 is 5 Feet Apart. Brought to you by Lionsgate. Brought in $6.197 million. So that can't be right. Is that what it brought in?
That's what it brought in this week, my dude.
Who paid that money for this movie? That's insane.
Hey, Grip,
that
you
makes
sure
it,
have a pretty mouth, says Vince.
This is unacceptable.
He gonna make you squeal like a squealy thing.
All right. Well, this podcast got weird. $35.8 million for 5 Feet Apart.
Yeah, total. What about number 4?
Number 4.
Tell us about it.
First week, unplanned. It brought in $6.3 million with a budget of $6 million.
It did.
So how about that?
In its opening week. Guess what? This is another one of those faith-based movies. So I was at the theater, and I saw some faith-based movie watchers at the theater that don't know my true self, my true Chardonnay self. And I saw them there, and I was like, well, hey, guys. And they're like, hey, what are you doing at the movie theater? And I was like, well, I'm going to go see a movie. What are you doing here? Oh, we're buying tickets to Unplanned. And I was like, no shit, of course. And
wait, did you do it just like that? Like, like John Candy in...
basically, I was like, well...
No shit. And
No
like,
shit. And they were like, what are you going to go see? And I was like, good. I had to throw like an audible.
oh, wait, no, it was Chevy Chase in Vacation.
Vacation, yeah. And so I had to throw an audible on the play. And I was like, well, man, I'm just here meeting some friends. They said I had an extra ticket to some movie. I'm not even sure what it is. And, by the way, they're texting me, got to go. And so I played it off real cool.
And then you watch Moondog do a
And
lot
then
of drugs.
I watched a lot of titties and drugs. I sure did. I sure did, man. I rode that train. Saw them titties, watched them weed smokes, man. You know what? I even ordered myself a cheese tray. And I wouldn't recommend it at the Malco. If I'm going to get some food, if I'm going to pay $7.50 for a cheese tray, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade that $9 for a burger and fries. You know what I'm saying? Or do the $5.50 for the mozzarella sticks, because that's where the real bargain's at.
Cheese tray.
Dude, the cheese tray sucked. Like, it was some cubed ass Colby Jack.
They have a cheese tray?
Dude, they have a cheese. Fuck their cheese tray. It was like Colby Jack squares that were dusty. You know when like a cheese.
Why would you go to a movie theater and be like,
Because I'm trying to get on my keto, bruh.
He's expecting a charcuterie board or something.
I'm expecting some shaved salami. I'm expecting some truffled ass aged cheddar. I'm expecting a little bit of fine, ridge, ripened chèvre fraiche brie with some grapes and some nuts and all that stuff. But you know what I got?
Were some of those even words?
Yes, I got cubed ass Colby Jack. I got cubed ass dry fucking powdered ass cheddar, and I got some pepper jack. And guess what? They got a Pepperidge Farm ass kielbasa sausage. Your butt cheeks is warm. Tenacious D style, sliced it up, 5 slices, put it on the grill, got a grill mark, put it on there with a little palm frond, a fucking parsley, and we're like $8. And I'm like, get out of here with that. The $9 cheeseburger and fry, where it is. The $5.50 mozzarella stick, where it is. Anything that's smuggling in the Thanksgiving dinner like I did at Die Hard, where it is. What's number 3?
Dropping to number 3 is Captain Marvel, bringing in $20.6 million this week. Its 4th weekend release, bringing its domestic total
To how much?
$353.97 million.
All the movies. Has it made it to the billion club? Let's find out. 992 million next week. Hitting that billion club. Did it deserve it? You be the judge.
No, easy answer.
The answer is no. The answer is no. All right, the number 2 movie in America.
Us.
Us?
You like, no, not us. That'd be tight if we were the number 2 movie.
Man, we're the number 2 podcast in America right now.
Oh, sick. It brought in $33.2 million, bringing its total after only 2 weeks to 127, with a budget of only 20.
Cash money, 20 million.
So
Making
Jordan
an
Peele,
extra 100 millions, 100 million. My host Twilight Zone, y'all. I'm gonna remake all this black and white shit for y'all. Check it out. Everybody's entrusted me with this responsibility to just remake shit that's already been made, you guys, and giving you the shit that's already out there. Like, why are we concerned about remakes of Twilight? Why are we concerned about remakes? You know what's getting remade? What's getting rebooted? Guess what? It's Suicide Squad. It's getting rebooted. That movie's not even 5 years old yet, you guys, and they're rebooting it. That's what's happening right now. They're like, hey man, it didn't make money. God, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? How are we gonna fix this?
Are they gonna reboot it?
Yes, they're rebooting it.
Hold on.
They're even casting the same guy as Captain Boomerang, but they're gonna remake the same freaking movie.
But that's what I'm saying. Are they just casting new characters?
Well, because Will Smith canceled out.
Well, that's fine.
They're just gonna remake it,
I'm
guys.
okay with that. I'm okay.
No, they might not remake it.
no,
It'll be a sequel with different characters. Suicide Squad wasn't always the same characters. It changed.
Why don't we not try it again? How about we try something different? It's like, hey, oh man, that one didn't work. You know what we need to do? We should just try this again. It's probably gonna work. They're gonna buy a ticket to it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Let's just make it again. Let's just put it out there because everybody's stupid. They're gonna pay for it. They gonna see it because it's got pew pew. It's got guys with lasers. Guys that says the F word. Probably some boobs. Let's put Margot Robbie. Let's make another hot girl. Let's show her butt all the time and magic powers. And then they gonna go. And if this one works, we'll make a sequel. And if it doesn't in 3 years, we'll just do it again. We'll make it again because they gonna go see, man, comic books, man. That's where it's at. I freaking hate the fact that this is getting remade in less than 3 years. Don't even get me started. What's the number 1 movie in America? Talk me now.
The number 1 movie in America, and I can't believe it flew, Dumbo, with $45.99 million.
Did it have a feather?
In its opening weekend.
It must have had a feather. $45.9 million. What was the budget on Dumbo? Do we even know?
No.
I don't know.
Probably a lot of money.
I bet it was. Here, I'm going to click this. I'm going to do this. Clackety, clack, clack, clack. I'm going to find that Dumbo movie. I'm going to look it up. $170 million estimated budget. Okay, so it made $45 million at the box office, $170 million domestic budget. We've got Pet Sematary up against next week. We've got Shazam up against next week. Do you think, my estimates, it's going to be in the $16 to $20 million range next week as it goes into Oh, Dina.
Yeah, I was
Dina
going to say,
coming in.
ask Dina what she thinks, because
Join Fantasy Movie League, Drive-In Speakerbox, so Dina can stuff your ass into the dirt. Drive-In Speakerbox on Fantasy Movie League, or you can just join HSX, the Hollywood Stock Exchange, and not compete. Because I'm not a competitive guy. I had to get out of that. I had to get out. I don't like competition, man. Bullshit. Everybody wins. Vincent asked if he missed our review of us, yes or no. Short, yes. Check it out. It's really good.
Number 2 movie, bro.
There are a lot of new reviews coming out going, oh, is this a metaphor for la la la, social, blah blah blah, Twitter? No, it's just good. Okay? It's just good. It's a love letter to a genre long lost. We haven't had good horror movies since probably 94, and this is like a return to form. This is a guy who obviously loves the genre that is returning to a thoughtful, provoking way of making people think about our surroundings, and I applaud him for that without having to use jump scares. But everyone's trying to turn it into another social movement, another one of these things where it's like, oh man, he's opening the door, all the Oscars. No, dude, he's just doing it right. Like, he's doing what everybody should be doing. So, yeah, Vince, I think you'll actually enjoy it. So check it out. Again, subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/The Drive-In Speakerbox, facebook.com/The Drive-In Speakerbox, Periscope @Drive-In Speakerbox. We get that particle out of there. And then on Twitter, we're @BoomOperator. We never tweet, but you can follow us because that's what Twitter is about. Dude, Twitter stock price, man. When is Twitter going to be worth some shit? Yeah, it's just... Netflix stock price up in the hundreds of dollars. Facebook's up in the hundreds of dollars. Netflix, hundreds of dollars. Everything's... I know I said Netflix twice, but Twitter, it's like $30. You, right there. You can buy stock in Twitter. I wouldn't because they haven't figured out how to be profitable. Will not hit 100 mil. What are we talking about? Us? Us has already hit. Oh, Dumbo. I don't think it's gonna. I think it has the problem of A, Tim Burton, and B, being sandwiched between some major releases. And I don't think Dumbo's gonna hit 100 million, even though it had a big, fat budget. So we will see. I mean, they're still going to make the live action Disneys because guess what? We're void of new ideas. We're going to scrape that dollar. We're going to remake Suicide Squad 9
maybe,
times.
but after Beauty and the Beast, they're expecting billions from their live actions and them to stay in theaters for 18 weeks.
Are they going to make another Beauty and the Beast? We're going to make a sequel, or are we just going to remake it again in 5 years?
No, but I'm just saying, after Dumbo doesn't do well and once Aladdin just tanks, I'm sure that they might even scrap like Mulan and stuff like that. So.
I am so ready for Aladdin to tank. I cannot even tell you how ready for Aladdin to tank I'm tuned in. It's just like, can we just watch? Can we watch getting Genie with it like fail? Yeah. Na. Because the na is wishing for true love, resurrection from the dead. And what's the other one?
The things you can't wish?
Yeah.
More wishes.
More wishes, yeah. Na. Can't wish for, and it's na. It's all those things. Like, yeah. Agrabah. Dude, they didn't get USA Up All Night, Gilbert Gottfried. They didn't get him as the voice of Iago. Like, that's what we need. We need Iago. Iago's the key. Gilbert Gottfried's always been the key. Did you ever watch the YouTube clip of Gilbert Gottfried reading from what's the movie about finger blasting? You know it, 50 Shades of Grey. That's it, yeah. Yeah,
You know it.
Yeah. Finger blast, I'm a millionaire. I'm a finger blast in my sex dungeon, and it's socially acceptable. Yeah, dude, I'm just
Cool, family-friendly driving speaker
I'm
box.
just describing the New York Times bestseller, Not Once, Twice, Thrice. I'm just describing what people want, which is finger blasting by millionaires. Have you read the shit? It's about his long finger. I read it because I gotta review the stuff. But hey, I'm just saying, if you want a good time, listen to Gilbert Gottfried read 50 Shades of Grey. It's a. Actually, can we pull the clip? We got time.
No, we totally don't have time.
We don't have time. Damn it! That's the music. Shit. That means we have to stop. Google it. Gilbert Gottfried reading 50 Shades of Grey. We will see you guys next week. We're gonna go probably check out Shazam and Pet Sematary. Next Monday. Like and subscribe. Boom, 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 boom. Peace out. Thanks to everybody that tuned in. Email us, drivingspeakerbox@gmail.com. That's it.
That's it.
All right. Goodbye.